Hey everybody, this is Bree with Timeless Foods. I'm here today speaking with Bhavani with the Punny Vegetarian and Jon with the Intermediate Chef. These guys are on Instagram and you need to go check them out because they're doing really cool things. Bhavani is an elementary teacher in Toronto, Canada, but outside of teaching, she uses food photography and recipe development to talk about social justice issues. And she cooks a variety of cuisines for her family and friends and hopes to use this as a way to make the world a kinder place. So Bhavani, welcome.
Thank you.
The Intermediate Chef, Jon, we met you when you used one of our ingredients for your ingredient Penpal efforts, which we thought was super cool. So we wanted to highlight, we just wanted you to talk about like what made you decide to do this? What was it? What inspired you and what has happened since then? So let's get started with you, Jon.
Sure. Well, I started the Intermediate Chef account about a year ago, and I was just interested in kind of exploring new things. I do a lot of pasta, but other kinds of local ingredients. And I'm from Montana. I was born and raised here, and it's a very much a meat and potatoes kind of place, which is fine. But also, a lot of Montanans probably don't know that we're a big pulse crop state, and so things like chickpeas, lentils, all of that. And I kind of stumbled on the Timeless products, and I thought they were really cool. They're really unique. And so I started using some of those things. And when I developed this idea of getting ingredient pen pals in other parts of the US, Canada, Europe, Asia, I thought it would be cool to share some Montana type ingredients and just say, hey, you may not know that we make these in Montana, but so I've sent them that. I've sent them kamut. I've sent them, coffee that was roasted in Montana and huckleberry stuff. So it's been a lot of fun to share Montana ingredients, especially things like chickpeas and lentils, and then have them send me back stuff from other countries, other parts of the US. It's been a lot of fun.
That's such a unique idea. And okay, so I remember watching your Instagram account and just watching how it grew. It's grown quite a bit from this endeavor. So you've made friends all over, huh? What kinds of things have you gotten back from your ingredient pen pal search?
Example, the most recent one was somebody from the Netherlands, and that was a lot of fun. They sent me actual Dutch cocoa. They sent me some sausages, different kinds of bread, dried bread and things like that. And so, but I've gotten things from Canada, from California, from Germany, and so one of our other partners in the Hummus Challenge, she sent me stuff from Germany. So it's a lot of fun. They're things that you can never find in the US without somebody sending them to you. And it's been fun to experience.
Oh, I'm sure. And then along the way, you hear all kinds of stories, I'm sure. Where does this come from? And, and you have no idea. I think I saw on your account, there was somebody in Hawaii too, the Honolulu.
Yes.
Are they in New York or are they in Hawaii?
He's in Brooklyn, but he's originally from Hawaii. And so he actually designed a sweatshirt for me, which was really cool. And I've used that. But the kind of friends you're able to make on Instagram and make that connection over food, 10, 20 years ago, you would never be able to do that. But it's been a lot of fun to make these kinds of connections, including people like Bhavani, in Canada, and to see the kinds of unique things that she's able to make and the perspective that she brings also to her food. I've really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
So speaking of Bhavani, tell me how you guys connected, and from there, how did you develop this exciting contest idea?
Well, Jon and I really just connected because we liked each other's content. Like I liked what Jon would create, and I think he liked what I would create, and I think it just really stemmed from mutual respect. And that's something that you see a lot on this platform. When you genuinely like what somebody else creates and they like what you create, you realize before you know it, you've got like a friend in another part of the world, which is just like Jon said, so different from like what would happen 10 to 20 years ago. Like 10 to 20 years ago, it was all like stranger danger if you were making friends on the internet. But now it's like, oh, like this person's actually pretty cool. And I feel like I know so much about them and their perspective and what they're interested in, and how they want to use the internet and their space on the internet, which is, I think, really cool. And so when Jon reached out to me with this idea about a hummus challenge and sort of creating something together for World Hummus Day, that was just so exciting to me, because honestly, I think good hummus makes a huge difference. Even though it's one of those things that's often overlooked, it's not necessarily always considered super fancy or super, elegant, but hummus is so underrated and it's so fantastic. And this is an opportunity, I think, for us to really showcase hummus in a positive light, and to really use it to bring so many people together.
Yeah, I think you're right. We were all about it. We were
Yeah.
ready. So for those of you who don't know what she's talking about, Jon and Bhavani, and what are the other who are the other influencers that are doing this with you?
We've got Zatar Queen Bisan, one of our friends from New York, on board, as well as Bon Appetit Trip. I want to make sure I pronounce that correctly. It's a portmanteau, and I always want to call her Bon Appetit Trip, but it's Bon Appetit Trip from Germany as well, joining us for this challenge so that we can all together make some pretty awesome hummuses. Hummuses, is that correct?
Yes.
The plural of hummus? Yes. We're going to say
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and you all, I've seen all of your accounts, and you all have really beautiful stuff that you create and put up there. So I'm excited. Timeless is excited to see what's going to happen. And for those of you who don't know, World Hummus Challenge is May 14th? 13th, May 13th. And we just upload your picture to the hashtag World Hummus Challenge on May 13th. And there are judges for this challenge. Can you tell me about the judges?
Well, you're looking at two of them, between Jon and I, as well as our co-hosts, Bisan and Bon Appetit Trip from...
Okay, yes.
Sorry, Zatar Queen and Bon Appetit Trip. Got to figure out how to pronounce that more consistently correctly. Gigi, yes, we're going to just go with Gigi. Gigi and Bisan as well are going to be judging it. And we're just so excited to see some creative new flavors out there, or even just a classic. We want to see that presentation. We want to see the love that goes into hummus, because let's be honest, when you put love into food, it's going to look fantastic no matter what. So we're just looking to see that beautiful love in hummus.
Very cool. Well, we're excited to support. If you do win the World Hummus Challenge, you do get 4 products from our line. So we love that this is going on, and happy to support you guys, and just let's do something fun. Let's just get together, make cool food, and make it pretty, and spread some love there. So moving forward with you guys, do you have any cool creations coming up for content that we can be on the lookout for, hummus or not?
So I'm going to try and create a reel where I make hummus from scratch, which is what I prefer to do, where you start with the dried chickpeas, you soak them, then you boil them with a little bit of baking soda, and that actually helps some of the shell, the exterior come off, and then you can kind of skim those off and then blend it with, you can either do the traditional with like lemon, some garlic, tahini, other kinds of things, but you can also blend in herbs, you can blend in beet, you can incorporate a lot of different kinds of colors, which is, I think, something, as Bhavani was saying, is oftentimes hummus can be a very just basic thing and still tasty, but I feel like there are horizons on hummus that have not yet been reached, and that people, either from an appearance, a taste standpoint, can really explore things, much like I've done with pasta over the last year on my own. And so that's something through a reel I hope to kind of do before the World Hummus Challenge to encourage people, because a lot of folks probably haven't made hummus from scratch. You can find it just about anywhere now, and really good stuff, but it's really fun and actually pretty easy to do it from scratch.
And Jon, maybe you can maybe you comment on this too, but I noticed that when I make homemade hummus and then I compare it with store-bought hummus, I'm always like, oh yeah, this is what it's supposed to taste like when you have that scoop of something homemade. You really do taste that difference, because a lot of store-bought hummuses often need to have different ingredients in them to keep them, okay for longer. But there's something about homemade hummus, and I'm sure you've noticed it too, where you're like, whoa, now this is a different kind of flavor that I don't normally get to experience, which I find so cool.
Yeah, and again, when you have the basics like chickpeas, usually tahini, maybe a little garlic, lemon, but there's so many different directions you can go with spice, just to kind of tailor things for your own taste. And I feel like once people figure out kind of that canvas, that initial hummus to make, there's the sky's the limit, and they can really do some cool things from there.
Absolutely. We're waiting to see who does something with the black chickpeas. I'm curious to see what comes out of that. And whoever actually, they also said, hey, whoever makes something with our product and tags us, we'll just send them a free bag just because that was fun, and thank you. So anyway, there's a lot of really neat things to come. Bhavani, what about you? Kitchen, anything fun in the kitchen coming?
Well, right now I'm experimenting with some more complicated dumpling folds, kind of similar to, I know Jon recently posted sort of like a two-toned ravioli, I think. Oh, not two-toned, but a two-flavor ravioli. So it's kind of in a similar vein to that, you could say. But I haven't had much luck yet, because the more complex the folds, sometimes they don't hold up in steaming and stuff like that. So I'm experimenting. Because we've got summer around the corner and it's just been such a long winter here, I would love to make something a bit more springy. So I'm trying to find some more ways to use up some strawberries and lemons right now, because I love those flavors, and hopefully we'll have something working with those flavors soon.
Sounds fun. Well, thank you guys for joining us today. It's always really fun. I do a lot of interviews with growers, so it's really fun to also introduce the other side, the consumer and the chefs who are, who are playing with the products that we create and making such innovative and beautiful plated meals. So thank you for joining us today. And for those of you who do not know, we'll say it again, you can find Bhavani at the Punny Vegetarian on Instagram, and you can find Jon at Intermediate Chef, and they are doing some really cool things. So thank you guys, and we'll see you next time with another timeless conversation.
Thank you.